Hi everyone, today I am going to teach you about the quadratic equation. It is a very interesting and fantastic topic because it always uses whenever you are dealing with the algebraic mathematics, because the mathematics is divided into the many branches like the geometry, algebra and so many branches. So today I am going to talk about how to solve the quadratic equation, which most you have to use many times in the any other chapter, not only in the quadratic equation but also in the different chapters, because it is one of the most important topic. So what do you mean by quadratic equation and how to solve this, all I am going to discuss today in this video. So for this, what is the quadratic equation? So quadratic equation, the highest power of the variable is the 2, then it is called the quadratic equation, or you could say the degree. Just in this case you are able to see that highest power of this variable is the 2, so this is the quadratic equation. If I will solve this equation, so in this equation the highest power of the variable is the 1, so it is the linear equation. And if the highest power of the variable is 3, then it is called the cubic equation. So it depends on the degree. So the quadratic equation in which the highest power of the variable should remain the 2. So how to solve this equation? How difficult it is looking, but it is very easy to solve. So for this, I am going to teach you by solving the quadratic equation through the middle term splitting. That means you have to split the middle terms. In this one is the middle term in which the 4 is the coefficient and x is the variable. So you have to split this middle term into the two parts such that whose product is the 4 plus 4 and whose sum is the 4x. So what is those two number? So if I will take the two number which is the 2 and 2. So this product, the product of 2 and 2 is equal to 4, 2 into 2 is equal to 4, and the sum of 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So this you could 4x can be broken down into the 2 and 2. So write here the x square and write here the 2x plus 2x, because 2x plus 2x is the 4x which is equal, but I had broken it, and write here the 4. And see the common in these terms. So what are the common in these terms? So are you able to see that x is the common in both of the term? So write the x here. So here we have remained the x plus 2. And what is the common in this both term? So here we is not the x in the common, because x is here but here is not x. So the 2 is common in both the terms. So here you could take the 2 and we have the here x plus 2. And it become again the two term. Again the two term. This one and this one. In which what is the common? So x plus 2 is the common in both. So write here the x plus 2 as a common, and in this term remains the x and this term remains the 2. So this is the final answer of this equation by solving this. And how to solve that, I am going to teach you the many questions so that you could understand or get the better concept about this, because it is something a confusing topic. So let's take the another question like this one. So you have to split this middle term or 8 in such a way that the sum of those number is the 8 and the product of those number is the 16. So how could you split that? You could split that 8 as the 4 and 4. So the 4 into 4 is equal to 16 and the 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So you could split the 8 as the 4 and 4. So write here the x square, and as you had splitted this into the 4x plus 4x plus 16. So in this what is the common? So x is the common in both the terms. So write here the x and we have the x plus 4. And then what is the common here? Here we have the common plus 4. So here we have the x plus 4. And this again become the two different terms. In these two different terms, x plus 4 is the common. So write here the x plus 4. And from this term we have the x, and from this term we have the 4. So this is the final answer we get now. So try different equation little bit so that I could be very understanding about this. So x plus 11x plus 30. So in this question, how would you use the mind? So you have to split the 11 in such a way that those sum of those number is the 11x and the product of those number is the 30. So product of those number is the 30. So how could you split this? So you could split either 6 plus 5, 6 and 5. So the product of 6 into 5 is equal to 30. And the sum of this 6 plus 5 is equal to 11. So you could split the 11 as the 6 and 5. So right here, the x square plus 6x plus 5x plus 30. And what is the common here? The common here be x, because the x is in the both the term. So right here the x and x plus 6 here remains. And in this, what is the common in these two terms? So here we have the 5 plus 5 as a common. So right here the x plus 6. And what is the common in these two different terms? So x plus 6 is the common, and here we have the x plus 5. So this is how you could solve then quadratic equation. And let's try the another question. So we have the another question, which is the x square plus 8x plus 32. So you have to split this into the two parts such that the sum of those two number is the 18 and the product of those two number is the 32. So think over this. How could you get in the quadratic equation? You have to think by your own so that you could get the number which required really to solve this equation. So you could take the two number either 16 and 2, and because sum of these are the 18 and the product of the 16 and 2 is equal to 32. This is what we need to solve this question, that we get the 16 and 2 as the two number, that is the split of the 18. So right here the x square plus 16x plus 2x plus 32. So what is the common in this term? So x is the common, so right here the x plus 16. And what is the common in this? The 2 is the common. So 2 is equal to x plus 16. So and in these two terms, we have the x plus 16 as a common. So right here the x plus 16 and the x plus 2. This is what the answer of this question. So you could think that whenever you split, you will get the same number here, which can become under the common. And let's try a difficult question so that you could make a better understanding over this. Which one is the x square plus 3 root 3x plus 6. So you have to split this one 3 root 3x such that sum of those is the 3 root 3x, but the product of those is the root 6. So how could you think over this? The sum of the two number is the 3 root 3x, but the product of those number is the 6. So how could you think? For this, you could split this one 6. 6 can be written as a 3 into 2, and it can be also 3 can be written as a root 3 into root 3 into 2. So you could write here the 2 root 3. So you will get a number 2 root. So as you have splitted this, you have or get into the mind that if you will use the number like the 2 root 3 plus root 3, then the sum of this number can be the root 3 plus x, because here we have the 2 root 3 and here we have the 1 root 3, and the sum of this number is the 3 root 3 that we need, and the product of this number 2 root 3 and the root 3 is equal to 6 that we need. So we get the two number which the sum is the 3 root 3. So the x square plus 2 root 3x plus root 3x plus 6. So here what we have the common? X is as a common. So x we have the common, then remaining here the x plus 2 root 3. And in this what we have the common? So if you are not getting that what is the common, so you could write here the 6 as a 3 into 2, and the 3 can be written as the root 3 into root 3, because the root 3 into root 3 is the 2, the 3, and here the 2. So you could write the 6 here as root 3 into 2, because it is also 6. In this what you are getting the common? So as you getting that root 3 is the common in both. So root 3 as a common, then we have here the x plus 2 root 3. Because this become the common, then we have this one. And in this again you are able to see that x plus 2 root 3 is the common in both the term. So x plus 2 root 3 is the common, and from this we have the x, and from this we have the root 3. So I think you understand how to solve the quadratic equation. For this you have to just think over this how to get those number, and thank you for today.